Welcome. We believe that listening is the most natural way to learn a foreign language. On this channel we will publish conversations between two people each time on a different topic so that you can improve your English without boring grammatical rules. In order for the brain to absorb the language as much as possible and to automatically think and speak in English, it is recommended to listen to each episode several times at a distance of days. If you find these podcasts useful, we would be grateful if you would subscribe to the channel and like. Enjoy.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Something I think a lot of people probably don't think too much about. Walking.
Right.
We walk every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things we kind of take for granted. So
Exactly.
you can't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we dug up a really cool source that talks about specifically brisk walking.
Okay.
And they call it, it's an Italian term, la camminata veloce.
Oh, how do you say that?
I know.
Right.
Yeah. It sounds fancy.
So you know.
Camminata veloce. Okay.
And what really got me interested in diving into this source is they're talking about this simple activity
Mm-hmm.
as like a secret weapon
Yeah.
for health and well-being.
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, come on. I was a little skeptical at first.
Sure.
But I'm curious,
Yeah. It is easy to dismiss walking as, well, just walking, right?
It is.
But when you actually look into it, like the science behind it is, it's pretty cool.
And when we look at this La Camminata Veloce, this Italian concept,
Yeah.
it adds a whole other level.
So, okay, so let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
What is it about La Camminata Veloce
Okay.
that makes it different than,
Yeah,
like,
Great.
just a stroll in the park?
right. It really comes down to the pace and the intention, right? So the term itself emphasizes a pace that's brisk.
Okay.
So you're, elevating your heart rate a little bit,
Mhm.
but you don't want to be, completely breathless.
Gotcha.
And there's a cultural element too, right? Like the Italians,
You're right.
it's about mindful movement, like really being present
Okay.
in your body and your surroundings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just a physical thing, right?
It's not.
There's kind of a mental
Absolutely. There's a
breakdown.
mental aspect to it as well.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. And I think that's where, when you combine those two, that's where the benefits really start to multiply.
Okay.
And it's kind of amazing, right?
Yeah.
Because it seems so simple.
Yeah.
So let's start with just the physical benefits.
Okay.
I think we can all kind of wrap our heads around this a little easier.
Sure.
Brisk walking, it strengthens your heart muscle,
Okay.
which makes it more efficient
Yeah.
at pumping blood. And what does that lead to? Improved circulation,
Makes sense.
lower blood pressure,
Uh-huh.
and ultimately, it's going to reduce your risk of heart disease.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Your heart's a muscle.
Yeah.
You got to work it out.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about the mental side.
Okay, yeah.
Can a brisk walk
Yeah.
really make a difference in like how we're feeling?
Yeah. I mean, from personal experience,
Right.
sometimes when you're feeling stressed,
Sure.
you go for a walk
Yeah.
and it helps you clear your head. Right. And I think there's a lot more to it than we may realize.
Okay.
So when we walk briskly, our brains release like this cocktail of feel-good chemicals,
Okay.
right? So we're talking about endorphins,
Oh, okay.
like beta endorphins
Okay.
and endocannabinoids.
I've heard of those.
Yeah. So these are natural mood boosters.
So it's not just like
It's not just in your head.
in my head, like
Yeah.
I'm imagining things. It's actually like
It's physiological. Yeah.
chemical.
It's a real thing. And it's really cool because they have a calming effect
Okay.
and they can help reduce stress and
Yeah.
anxiety.
And that's why I feel better after a while.
Yeah, and some people even compare it to a natural antidepressant.
Interesting.
Of course, it's not going to replace medication if you
Yes.
need it,
Right.
but it can definitely be a helpful tool
Yeah.
to have in your arsenal.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating. So, okay.
Yeah.
I know, like sometimes I'm feeling stressed and I go for a walk and it really does help to kind of clear my head.
Mm-hmm.
But is it like really just those endorphins or is it just that I'm like getting a change of scenery,
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's probably a combination of factors.
Okay.
You're getting out of your usual environment.
Yeah.
You're maybe getting some fresh air, some
Mhm.
sunshine.
Yeah.
But, those endorphins are definitely playing a role.
Okay.
It's not nothing.
The real.
It's a real thing. Yeah. And there's more.
Okay.
Like, that's not even all of it.
Okay.
Brisk walking has also been shown to improve sleep quality,
Oh, wow.
which then, further enhances mood and cognitive function, right?
Yeah.
Because we all know when we don't get enough sleep,
Yeah.
we're not our best selves.
Yeah.
We're grumpy. We can't think straight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
when you get enough sleep, your brain's able to consolidate memories
Right.
and process emotions more effectively. So it kind of has this ripple effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see how all of these
Yeah.
benefits kind of connect.
Yeah, they're all intertwined.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then this is what I'm wondering.
Okay.
Why brisk walking
Yeah.
specifically?
Right.
Why not a
Okay.
gentle stroll?
Yeah.
Or why not a run?
Yeah, good question. I think this is where this idea of a sweet spot comes in, right? So brisk walking,
Mm-hmm.
it gets your heart rate up enough to reap those cardiovascular benefits we talked about,
Right.
but it's low impact.
Okay.
So it's gentler on your joints than, say, running,
Right.
especially as we get older.
Yeah, for sure.
Our joints don't always appreciate
Right. Right.
the high impact.
Yeah.
So it's really about finding that perfect balance
Yeah.
of effort and impact.
Gotcha. Okay. So that makes sense. But
Right.
how do I incorporate brisk walking into my routine?
Right.
Because I'll admit, I've tried to make walking a habit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it can be.
It's like-
It's a lot easier said than done.
It is. It's okay, yeah.
It's cold or it's
Yeah.
rainy
Right, right.
or,
I don't have time.
you're tired.
Yeah, yeah.
You got a million things to do.
Exactly.
But I think the key is starting gradually
Okay.
and finding what works for you. So don't go from, couch potato to
Right.
marathon walker
Right.
overnight.
Yeah.
That's setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. Exactly.
So begin with shorter walks,
Okay.
maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can gradually increase the duration and intensity
Okay.
as you start to feel stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Aim for at least 30 minutes most days of the week.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you can't do that at first, that's fine.
Okay.
Just do what you can.
Okay.
And remember proper posture.
Oh, right.
That's going to help you maximize the benefits
Mhm.
and prevent injuries.
I don't even think about posture when I'm walking.
Right. It's one of those things we don't really think about until
Yeah.
it starts hurting,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's definitely important.
So I do sometimes catch myself slouching
Yeah.
when I get tired,
Totally.
especially if I'm walking somewhere.
Yeah.
So, okay, so even something as simple as walking
Yeah.
can have a pretty big impact on our well-being
Right.
if we do it right.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
It's accessible to pretty much everyone.
Right.
You don't need a gym membership. You don't need special equipment.
Yeah.
It's literally just you, your 2 feet,
Mm.
and a bit of motivation.
I like that. Okay, so to kind of wrap this all up,
Yeah.
La Caminata Village,
Mhm.
this brisk walking,
Yeah,
it's more than just getting from point A to point B.
for sure.
It's like a mindful practice.
It is. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That can have all these benefits
Mhm.
for our minds and our bodies.
Yeah, it's a way to connect with yourself and with
Yeah.
your surroundings and
Yeah.
really just reap the benefits of something so simple.
So basically what we're saying is
Yeah.
don't underestimate walking.
Yeah. Don't underestimate walking. And I think that's the main takeaway.
Right.
Reconsider walking. You
Yeah.
know, maybe you've been thinking about oh, I should get more exercise.
Yeah.
I should join a gym.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just start with walking.
Yeah.
Try it for a week, Focus on that brisk pace.
Okay.
See how you feel. And you
Mhm.
might be surprised
Yeah.
at the difference it makes.
Simple but effective.
Exactly.
I like it. Well, that's another deep dive
Yeah, they're
in the books.
They're the one.
We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned something new.
Yeah.
And maybe you're even feeling a little inspired to lace up those shoes and get walking.
Get out there.
Get out there.
Enjoy it.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Take care.